back to another episode on my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna do, as you can tell by the title, what is Redstone, or basically Redstone. So to start things off, we will just go into the regular old Redstone. What is Redstone? Okay, so here we are. That's Redstone. If you put it in line, it just stretches out that direction. So Redstone is basically like the wiring of Minecraft. You can use it to go different places. You can go up, make like a little staircase or something, and it'll go up. But if you look at it, if you look at it, then like say we want to power a redstone lamp right here. Well, then how do we actually do that? Because that lamp is not on. Well, to put in redstone, you can use a variety of things like a lever, redstone block, a pressure plate, redstone torch, a button. You know, there's tons of things. So let's use a button. If you see, as you can see, we have this button. Click it, it turns on. But of course, the button unattaches. So that's what a button does. A pressure plate, if you walk on it, it stays on until you walk off. And then there's the lever. The lever, you flick it, it's on. Flick it, it's off. So that's how that works. It's kind of like a switch. Then there's a block of redstone. Basically what this does is it just puts off a constant redstone output. So yeah. So you might be asking, oh, and also redstone torch, of course. It's a little bit interesting. You do that or like regular torch. And if you set the time, then, okay, that won't work. So, say we have this little hole here, it's really dark. Well, this actually puts off a little bit of light by itself. So, yeah, that's nice. But here's the thing with redstone torches. If you have two redstone torches, like this redstone torch is facing this way, so it's giving power out this way in all of these directions. And also if there's a block on top of it, then it powers that block. Or it powers, see? So it gives output in all the directions, up, down, left, right. However, it does not give output backwards. So, and also, so if you put a redstone output into it, say I put it like this, and then I had a lever, and flick the lever, it turns off. Which means that if you have you can make something called a redstone clock, which is an interesting subject that we might get more into in the future. But basically how it works is it's kind of like a paradox. It can be related to a paradox. So there's three different modes. So each one is flashing. So this is flashing basically every 3 ticks, or every 2 ticks. It's flashing 1 out of 3 ticks basically. Because what's happening is this redstone torch is on, which turns off this, which turns on this. But since that's on, and that's powering that, that turns off, which turns on that. So basically just does a paradox. That is the first redstone clock that I learned. But another more simple way to do it, where you can actually affect the time. Well, first, this is a redstone repeater. What it does, well, let me show you. So this redstone traveling a long distance, and you put power into it. Well, way down here on this line, it doesn't power that because, as you can see, it can only reach to there. So it would power that, but it wouldn't power that because that's too far away. So what you do to solve that is you put down a repeater, and then you can just continue your line, and voila, that's a powered block. A redstone only has a single strength of, I kind of forgot. I just counted. So, basically, after 15 blocks, this is a 15th block, a piece of redstone, it'll stop working on the 16th. So, repeaters can renew that. Let's see. So basically there's a clock here, so you can do this. Oh, and also, repeaters, they also slow it down. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can see the lines. So basically, at 1, it delays, and you can see in the top, it says delay 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks. It delays the pull, so when you flick this, it'll be easier, like that. See? So basically, it delays when this gets to that for 4 ticks. Basically, it'll take 4 ticks to get from this to this, from input to output, and you can toggle that. So if you have two, oh, I already did that. This has 1 tick. This has 1 tick. Say we put it at 4 ticks. That means it'll be 4 ticks before this go. If we powered that block, it'll be 4 ticks before this block got powered, because it'd have to go through that. Because redstone repeaters can only go in one direction, and you can see that by the arrow thing. So if you power that, then it's basically flip-flopping. So how can I explain this? So basically, oh, you can destroy this. So basically, the redstone is getting put through here. After 4 ticks, it comes down to here, and then powers that. But this is already off, so then this powers that. So it's basically like a little bit of electricity going around in a loop. So there's a lot of places that don't have it. So it's kind of like, say we're like that. So these redstone torches are wire, and these levers are also a wire. So like it's going around in a loop, so it keeps on turning. So then this would become a redstone torch. This become a not powered, and just keeps going in a loop like that. If that makes sense, I doubt it does. So you can make a clock like that too. However, the easiest way, in my opinion, to make a clock is with something that is called a comparator. I'm not going to get a lot into comparators right now because they're a pretty interesting topic. But basically, what you can do is, as you can see, it does that. So with comparators, they have 2 states. Normal and then subtract. To make the clock, you place down a repeater, set it to subtract, and then you put redstone going from there, going from the output here to one of the inputs, because there is 3 inputs on a hopper or on a comparator and 1 output. That's an input, that's an input, and that's an input. That's the output. So I believe what subtract mode does. I'm not an expert at redstone. What it does is it subtracts, it like negativifies the current. So current's going in through the thing, it turns it off. So then it goes in. So since it's getting no current, then it does a negative version of that to turn it on. So basically, it says 1 tick on, 1 tick off, 1 tick on, 1 tick off. So that's how that works. So additionally, with yes, then there are pistons. Oops. There are pistons. So with pistons, basically, you power it, it pushes. But they use it to push blocks. So see, it pushed that block. Pushes another block. Pushes another block. So, you hook this up to a... Now, this, you know how I made this earlier? Well, this can be a one-tick thing. You just need to click it real quick. That was a little bit too fast. There we go. So it's just that clock is going just as fast as that clock. If you look at them, it's going just as fast. If you're looking at it in really slow-mo, then you'd see that. So what you can do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire this up with maximum tick delay, and then hook it up to there, so it just does that, and then I'm going to hold down right click. So it just keeps on placing and pushing blocks. But see, it stopped. This is still working. It's just that the piston isn't pushing it because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 blocks on this. And that is the maximum. I mean, I believe it used to be more, but I've got to test this. We got it. I did that, except facing upwards. So now I'm gonna cut that off. So now it's getting not getting any power, and I'm gonna count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Apparently it's 13. So basically, pistons can only push 13 blocks at a time. But then there's a variant of the piston called the sticky piston. As you can see, piston, sticky piston. To make this, you have to do basically a piston with a slime block on top. With the piston, you have to do cobblestone, wood, and iron. That. Anyways, so with this, interestingly enough, it holds on to blocks. So I'll hook this up to a regular piston. That's another thing with pistons. If it's not going directly into them, then it will stop. So I'm gonna hook up another, just a regular piston to show you. See, that drops it off. That makes it stick. However, with a sticky piston, it only sticks to the actual piston. So that would mean that any block beyond this, it doesn't stick to that block and get pulled back in. So sadly, that does not work. So yeah, let me think about what I'm going to talk about next. Again, I remembered to turn back today, and that is a hopper. Yes, that is a hopper. To make it, basically, you should find out about a hopper, but to make it, you do find it. Let's see. I'll just talk really slowly. That would you does it. You do actually. There we go. That's a hopper. Just do 5 iron ingots and chest. Anyways, with this hopper, you can transport blocks. So say I have a chest right here. Right there. So now, if I wanted to get it to this chest, oh no! How are you gonna get it there? Well, use hopper, push it down, down again. See, or if you shift click, if I just click, it does down. If I shift click, it does it into there. Because if I just regular clicked, it would open up the chest. However, if I click over here, it would go into that block. Anyways, so that's facing that way, going to the chest. You do another one on there. If I just right clicked, it wouldn't work, so I open it. But if you do another one, you do another one onto there, so it's going that way, and then you do another one. So it'll go down, right. Now I know what you're thinking, hey, but the input's up here. Because, you know, see, that's the input. I throw in a redstone. Oh, oops. I'm a horrible pitcher. I just threw like a half an inch. See, it disappeared. There it is, in the chest. So basically every tick, or I can't remember, I think it's every second or every tick or something like that, the hopper, I just move from that hopper to the next, to wherever the next thing is. So if we have a longish line of it, let's say we put in this detector rail. And there it is. See, nothing, and put that in there, boom. So that's what hoppers do. However, there's another thing that you can do with comparators. I'm not going to explain how it works. I'm just going to show you what it does, because since hoppers do one tick, you can do something called a hopper clock. So basically, those two hoppers are going into each other. So if you threw in an item, oops, I just collected that item back. Okay, if you threw in an item, move back and forth. So if you do a comparator, there you go, you get a clock. So let's say I had some, oh, I have redstone in there. Say I had some redstone running out. Yay, it goes. However, it only goes that strong because with comparators, it sees that there's only one block going in and stuff. It's confusing. I'm not going to explain it right now. So, yeah, now, one more thing that you can do with redstone that I'll show you for now is travel, there. So, oh, I need that, drive, I guess. So, rail. You can do a minecart on one end and ride it. Oh no, I fell off. I fell off the track. If you go off a track with minecart, then you can't move. But if you're on a track and you go forward, yay! I'm moving ever so slowly. Yay! Go! Oh no, I fell off. See, fell off. Sad face. But here's where redstone comes into this. I really don't like taking care of rails because you have to click at perfect intervals. It's annoying. So, powered rail. As you can see, rail, powered rail. Look a bit different because that one has that little redstone things in the gold. So basically, to make a rail, you do that to make 16 of them, and then for powered rails to make 6, only 6. You have to do that. So what a powered rail does is if I have a line fails, I'm just like, oh, this is dragging on so long. Well, if I power this, let me show you what happens. No, fell off. My hands are not on. And there you go. As you can see, that was a lot faster. So you can also use it for that. But that's not very close to redstone, is it? Here's where the detector rail comes in, right there. That's the detector rail. So see how that's not powered. If you have a non-powered powered rail, I try to drive over it, I just don't, it doesn't do anything. Let me prove that. I try to drive over that, it doesn't do anything. You have to hold down your mouse, and it works just like a regular old rail. Except I believe it does slow you down a little bit. So as you can see, that one's off, just like this. That one is. So what the detector rail does is, no, oops, pushed it off. Zing. basically what happened there is push that over it. See, that turned on because I don't know if you saw that, but those like lit up. Because if you have a detector rail, then if a minecart goes over it, then it detects it and does a little bit of an output. So what you can do is be right back. The one thing I forgot to tell you guys about, rails can turn. Okay, they turn. So if I take a minecart, around and around we go. However, powered rails do not turn. Neither do detector rails. So yeah, I'm just gonna make that clear. So here I have this little thing. I'm gonna show you a bunch of stuff with it, and it's gonna minecart. Barely made it up that hill. And we're still going around here, going around and going back down. And you get the speed. Isn't that a really cool thing? Yeah. So here, what if you want more speed in your roller coaster? Well, I didn't mean to destroy all those blocks. You can replace that with a block of redstone and do some, not that. Power rails, and they'll get powered, and then you'll get to go super duper fast, man. Isn't that fun? Oh, let's try this. Oh, I'll be right back, guys. So back, I just added an extra thing. So up here, if you want an extra bit of boost, you can just replace that with a redstone block. Oh, and I just have these supports for just to look good, you know. Anyways, so I have redstone block there. Boom, boom, boom. Then another redstone block over here. So now we have a little extra super fun roller coaster. You go up. Now my hands are no longer on the keyboard. Go around. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, this is taking. Oh, one more lesson. Yeah. So what you can do is, if you have a redstone input, like I have that rail right there, and I take an input from that, as you can see if you put my car on that, ding, input, take it away, gone. So I'll use that input to go into that redstone forge. I don't remember quite how this works. Okay, here we are, guys. I set the time to midnight and I figured everything out. The previous thing I was thinking of didn't work, but this does. So see, those lights are off. Now, if we run a minecart, if we get a minecart, look at them. Whee! They turn on. And not again. Okay. So you stop. So basically what I did, was I have this detector rail, and I hooked it up to this redstone line that went all the way over and up to this repeater, which I need that repeater because it ran out of redstone signal strength right there, and then it came up and powered these two blocks. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and move this. Where's that rail? Okay, put a rail there and move the detector rail right there, because you see it's still under there, so I can destroy that. It'll still work. And then if I set the time really dark, then ta-da! Oh, what? I'm so confused. What just happened? What just happened, man? That was not supposed to happen. Let's try this again. Boom. Okay, now let's try this. Now, and see, lights turn on, and turn off, and turn on, turn off, and turn on, and turn off, and turn on. All because of that little detector rail. Okay. On and off, and on and off. So, one last thing before we end this episode is me showing you about blocks. So, like, there's that. If you see, it doesn't go through the block. Oh no. However, if you have a repeater right there, it goes through the block. So, how this works, or if you have like a lever right there, right on the block, it goes through the block. So here's how this works. I wasn't thinking, but we'll just do like a 2 redstone lamps and a piston at the end. I'll put this on top of these. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't work. So there we go. See, it turns it on through the block. Or you can do the same thing with a repeater. A really long redstone line. Whee! You can have a little detour. Oh, let's make like a snake. Just like that. Snake all the way down to here. Or lever. It does not reach that far. Just destroy all that redstone. And then, boom. See, it goes right through the block. So basically, how that works is that there are a few blocks that can be source blocks, like a redstone repeater, a lever, a button, redstone torch, observer, reparator, you know, like everything that can be a redstone source block. I can put out a redstone output is a redstone source block. So basically, yes, that's the worst. So basically, if you have a source block next to a block, then this block becomes, if you have a power source, this is power source, next to a block that can actually put through redstone, then that block becomes a power source. So that block powers this redstone. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, up this video if I'm fan. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't for more weekly Minecraft videos. And yeah, see you guys next time in this really glitchy minecart.